This is Unity Broadcasting Online Television, connecting voices.
Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we come to
unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we come to
unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
We are independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize, and inform Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey here so for talk, but waiting they happen. Political discussion,
you for know about Salon politics.
Religious messages, entertainment, self no go left bien.
We no go left nothing bien no.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we come to
unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we come to
unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
This not the team them where we dey talk about
Sierra Leone political history,
defeating the lives of fake people.
waiting they be on social media.
One-on-one interview, we go bring you all the hot topics.
Unity Broadcasting TV say,
and we let myself and better Salon.
It's a very good morning here, right from the studios, the 48 Siaka Stephen Street, Snafriton. With this one, I will say, welcome back to the program Unity Morning Show. We reach live from Unity Broadcasting Online Television, as always, with the broadcast live from the studios. Now, broadcasting us now 48 Siaka Stephen Street, Snafriton. And remember, say Unity Morning Show, now program will come to you every Monday to Friday, 7:30 in the morning. And this is the first edition inside the month of November 2025. And today, now the number 3 day inside the month of November. One for say welcome. We're the usual presenter that we can always present this program to you. Our name is Yusuf Mosiri Suma.
And my name is Elizabeth Kefue Gembe. Today inside the morning show, we don't see how drug don't they take the life of Sierra Leoneans, and plenty things don't they happen at the nation. We see His Excellency Julius Maada Bio in safe camp and decide for bring a very strong word. For sake of that, this morning, a lot of pointers been on the show out to institutions, then especially the Sierra Leone Port and Harbour Authority. We go get this morning the head of special duty, when Idris Mango Tarawali, he go can tell we how then operations they go on, and we go also get John Brimer, when I the scanning manager, integrated trade service. The topic where we can discuss today now the role of Sierra Leone stakeholders within the clearing process. We don't see plenty thing container in the camp. So we want today for focus now the Port and Harbour Authority, how then they help other stakeholders. The one then we they carry with motorcar in this country, the one that we they carry with goods and the one that we they carry with medicine in this country. How then self they help for make them do the clearing process very smoothly. Now continue for following our Facebook page, with YouTube, and also with TikTok page. Like I say, my name is Elizabeth Kefue Gembe. So Suma.
Good morning. Well, a lot of things that happened over the weekend, within area, within sports, entertainment, and all that. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate me community, the Bremalian community, for winning the inter-area, football competition. Of course, we win 2-0. So that's of Grassfield community, close neighbor communities, them, And I want to congratulate the Grassfield people as well for maintaining the peace. We happen necessarily. When I say Grassfield, I mean the eastern part. So I want to say congratulations to both teams. their families, and one for wish them all the best. And we continue for support Bremale community football. And yesterday was another historic moment for Musa Tumbo, who played for Bremale community and scored one of the winning goal. And one interesting thing that happened with this particular player, and the fact say any team will play for Easter Lions won the Salon Premier League. He played for Bo Rangers, they won the Salon Premier League, And yesterday again, he played for my community, Bremale community, and we won the Aspire Inter-area competition.
No, why not go play for Leon Stars?
He had been playing for Sierra Leone. Musa Tumbo is not a strange name in the football entertainment, in the football sector. Musa Tumbo, one for wish him all the best. Yesterday we see a lot of security presence na the field na approved school. That shows how proactive the security sector there as well.
All right, there is another great news for Cambia. His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, they said for over 40 years, Dongo Lights Cambia. Kudos to His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, and congratulations to Cambia District for getting lights. And we will hope say a better things to come on board. Sierra Leone will be greater. We wish for let every nation, not only Cambia, let every other district headquarter town be in that kind of mode. So I tell His Excellency Julius Maada Bio plenty thank you for that. And we hope say it will consider other towns then, and not only lights, a lot of other amenities then they with Sierra Leoneans they need for benefit. We'll continue to stay with we. It is what it is. We will be right back. Let's take a few commercials.
Welcome to Fatmata Fashion House. Isaiah, they get everything we get for do with man them, woman them, different wears, different design. Look this official dress here so. Look them bling bling here. For then Saturday we are, or you will go and wear and go clubbing. Look this again for wear as casual. Look the dress them. Look this fine man shirt again. Look the dress them. Then they are for affordable prices. Can't get luxury for affordability. This na fine dress where you go able to get in different design and different color.
This na Fatmata Fashion House, 104 Main Regents, Good Lumley. Una all welcome. As you can see, we get British standards clothes and aya. We get woman for official dressings, dinner party and all stuff. We get woman nice and vac them with different colors. We get ourselves for the school picking them, both the boys and girls, strong quality, British standard. We also get for you when you know say you love salon. We independent day, we get her in different colors. For the footballer themselves, we get you covered. You yourself there can collect you for a very reasonable price. Within our 104 Main Regents, Go Lumley. As for the telephone number, 078 560 118. Fatmata Fashion House. Welcome.
As government and stakeholder them, they continue to implement the Productive Social Safety Net and Youth Employment Program, PSSNYE, where World Bank we don't give Salon government $42 million for. National Commission for Social Action, NACSA, they use part of this amount for transfer money to us and family them. We pop a smack. Now, area them will not receive nothing yet through the Social Safety Net Program. For sake of this, government will extend this facility to new hostel we pay the money. Same way so, NACSA, they use part of this money for give money to Salon people for start their own business. Train and mentor people them and connect them for agricultural program them where the government and non-governmental organization body them they operate. NACSA they also give this money to over 7,000 youths them to provide them with short-term work opportunity them upline through the Sustainable Cash for Work program.
As all this they be, Freetown City Council go use spend this money for about over 6,000 youths them for clean the city and do other public work them na Freetown.
The National Youth Commission NACOM go use some of this money for support new and old youth group them for open their own business them na Freetown. Instead they go able to get access to money, training and counseling, but how for improve their own business them.
And then go implement this program na Bo, Makeni, Kenema, Potloko and Freetown.
For complaints, comments and inquiries, call Anti-Corruption Commission or 077-985-985 or 077-986-986 or toll-free line on Africell, QCell and Orange 8515. This message will come out from the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC with support from the World Bank, UNICEF and the government of Sierra Leone.
Good morning, once again. Welcome to the program Unity Morning Show. It reach live from Unity Broadcasting Online Television. Today on Monday, the number 3 day inside the month of November, fastly approaching December, and gradually they welcome 2026. Good morning, once again. Welcome to the program. Well, inside the studios this morning, we get with two big people. We come from the Salone, Ports, and Harbour Authority in this part of the world, and then there this morning we can discuss around the activities inside the authority and as well discuss issues we get for do with Port Authority. Well, inside the studios this morning we get with Idrissa Mago Tarawali. Idrissa Mago Tarawali na the head for special duties na SLPHA, and as well get with John Bremer. John Bremer na the scanning manager na the integrated trade security or sector whatever. And those in the studio this morning. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the program Unity Morning Show.
Thank you.
Yes, the very first time.
Yes. It's a pleasure.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. We do appreciate your efforts. You know, today's morning a very busy day. So most of we invite guests them for come on Monday. We can also tell them thank you because we know how choked Monday is. Exactly. So to start with, Salone Ports and Harbour Authority, not a strange name to some. For those who don't understand at all, can you start, Mr. Tarawali? Can you please start for tell you within the Salone Ports and Harbour Authority stand for?
Thank you very much. On behalf of the management of Salone Port and Harbour Authority, I want to say plenty thank you to Unity Radio with this opportunity for where we can share with activities at the port. We very much appreciate this and we look forward to more. Now, Salone Port and Harbour Authority, as you say, we are a landlord port now. Long before now, 2010, 2011, we've been there as service port. The difference there, a service port, is like the authority and they in charge of everything, the operations and everything at the port. But because the port not been able to do too well by then, in 2010, that recommendation was made by the recommendation was made, and World Bank may recommend that the port be privatized because the management then not been able to do too well. The port not been able to do too well. So the authority being privatized, that was from 2010. So since then, the privatization make recommendations. There was a company, CPCS Transcom, we now then do the implementation. So as a landlord port, we concession certain areas. The container terminal take from Bat 3 to Bat 6 by then. Now the container terminal been go to Boloree African Logistics. 100% them get exclusivity on containers. Then by 2015, the other parts eastwards of the port also be privatized to a British company, Nectar Bulk Sierra Leone. So this is how the port be there. So on the activities of the port, the activities are numerous. But like I say, I want to tell you thank you for this opportunity. People don't even know how the port set, the setting at the port. Everything Waterkey at the management of Salone Port Authority. And at the port today, like I said, we are a landlord port, a landlord role we play. The operations of the port will be on concession to Boloree. Now, how we call them now? We'll be on concession to Boloree. Now we get Freetown Terminal, we're in charge of the terminal. The AGL and they don't take over now, but Freetown Terminal still stand because now a local company, they register under Salone laws. Freetown Terminal Limited, so now then they in charge of containers. So like I say, people they forget say different players and they within the port. Now, inside the same port, by the Customs Act, we are mandated to provide a space for customs, office for customs to perform by law. Where customs they perform at the port, you get Boloree they perform at the port. Before now you get Dangote they perform at the port. You get integrated trade services, all they perform at the port. You get Nectar at the east side of the port. All of them where they operate within the same port. But whenever something happens, Salone Port and Harbour Authority was fine. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. So we not get issue with that. We are serving Sierra Leone, we are Sierra Leoneans. The only thing they ask for, let people and collaborate with let we do the right things at the port. Because whatever go wrong, at the end of the day, it tell on we all are Sierra Leoneans. Now, the issues, like I say, are many. But I want to take you first, before I say whatever, the clearance process, when are the thorny issue that how you go get them things here for go out. Now, we'll get several steps. Before the vessel come into this country for dock at the port, you get processes where if you don't start, where if you keep by them processes and then you do them, when the vessel come now, you don't shorten the process. You see? Because you get very limited time. Before now, it was 3 days free period where your consignment come. But now, Sierra Leone Port Authority don't work on that, don't talk with the other stakeholders, at least the privatized institutions, when are the operators. Now you got 7 days. So now that make you get for make the best out of them. We think that 7 days, if you don't start your clearance process, one, when they send the draft bill of lading, the bill of lading. Bill of lading, a document where they show title for sure, say now you own this consignment. So yes, now from the port of loading, then security features, all of that one day. Then when you do your cargo tracking note, you get your draft bill of lading, you can able to do your cargo tracking note with that one day. When that day done, then before the vessel come, you get ITS. Mr. Abraham seated here with me, you get for explain that na the area integrated trade services where the scanning facilities they under. But before that, you get certain things away for them. You will pay 1%, that's legal, mandatory, you for pay that one the 1% of them. When you don't pay that one,
how much that one they cost, sir? How much it cost? 1%
of the original invoice we will submit to them. 1% of them, now you the pay. Then when you don't pay down there, ITS in turn get something where they go issue to you, what they call CVC, when a cost verification certificate. Then they don't make you don't start your clearance process, awaiting the arrival of the vessel. When the vessel arrives, by then you go don't receive the original copy of your bill of lading. That your bill of lading, you take and go to the shipping company we concern, because you get different shipping companies. You get Maersk Line, you get CMA CGM, you get MSC and AS. So the shipping company we concern, you go with your original bill of lading, then they go exchange them, then give you something we call delivery order. That delivery order now they permit you for continue with your clearance process. After you done that side, that the vessel don't come already. When you done that side, you go to customs. When you go to customs gets something we call Asikuda. First now be Asikuda plus, now Asikuda World. That Asikuda na self-assessment. You go with your original invoice, you CTN, you ITS, CVC, we don't give you and everything, you input into the Asikuda. Once you input into the Asikuda, then the Asikuda, they give you a document where you call assessment. That assessment, they show you the duty based on the document where you don't input into the system. It will show you the duty where you're supposed to pay and everything like that. You take that assessment and out to the bank. No cash transaction, physical cash transaction. You take that assessment to the bank. When you go to bank, you make the payment. The bank, they issue them bank slip to you. You come back na customs for verify. By the time you can on customs don't verify, say indeed you don't go pay the duty. You do them alongside, then they verify now, then they check for CTN if you don't meet your CTN payment, if you don't meet your ITS payment. After that, customs they generate something where we call a wish list. That wish list, now then they send down to Freetown Terminal, when then they load the container for scanning. When they don't load the container for scanning, then they can go to ITS. ITS to do the scanning. Mr. Brahma seated here, we're able to explain more about the own processes na ITS, but I know say na ITS they scan. Then, when ITS scan, if waiting they see into the container not match with waiting they na the document, then they refer that document say and the waiting to customs back.
So all them process here where you don't explain, then they happen before the scanning?
No. The first part of the explanation now the pre, then before the vessel come.
Okay.
So wait I don't take now from when the vessel don't come.
Okay.
All wait I don't explain so they happen before you go now for scanning. After customs don't generate the wish list. Okay. That wish list now they show say them people where don't meet all them payment. everything when they're supposed to be, they don't pay customs duty, they don't pay CTN, they don't pay ITS. Then when they send that listing now, Bolori go load the container for go scan. Then when they go for go scan now, then we meet ITS now that then get an office done with Mr. Boyama, the manager, where then go scan for you. So after they don't scan, like I say, if they get issues, match with waiting day, then they refer them back to customs. Then at that time they can recommend for do 100% examination. If we then do 100% examination, then after the referral, when Mr. Boyama, the office go don't make, then do the 100% examination, then it can possibly again say sometimes the customs duty where you pay, you underpay. So then can even recommend, when they send them to customs can recommend upliftment. Then they can increase the duty if at all not match with waiting day. Then after that, after the customs side, customs don't do the examination, then get for release. When customs release, that's when the next stage is you go to Freetown Terminal, where people usually they call it Bolori, name done now, AGL, but Freetown Terminal, and then they're in charge of the containers. Then people then go Freetown Terminal. When you go Freetown Terminal, after customs not release, Freetown Terminal not they perform, not they do nothing if customs not release until customs release. When customs release, Freetown Terminal take them from there, then process for storage, because now then they store the containers and other things as it can be. So at that moment now, then they take for make them processes for bill you for invoice, they raise invoice for you for storage charges and other things then after you go done when you don't pay all them storage charges and everything, then get one other thing when they issue to you when a EIR, equipment interchange report. That equipment interchange report where a Freetown Terminal they issue to you directly, and they communicate with the shipping line. Waiting that report say day for it, they show you the condition of the container. In this case, when they talk about container, they show you the condition of the container, and they advise the shipping line immediately say this container we don't release and right from this moment, this day and this date we don't release this container. If shipping lines get records, because in the clearance process you get part where they make refunds. So it depends on the condition where you go return the container, because at that time when they don't release you, Freetown Terminal don't advise them the condition of the container by issuing that EIR. So when you go, depending on the condition, then they will make the refunds to you. Now, we as SLPHA, as Port, we then at the tail end of this clearance process. We not get any way where they generate income into this process, through this process. We in a security aspect, we dey into the system for. When Bolori go done, then don't issue the terminal delivery order, then don't issue the EIR, then they can come over to we in a port. Waiting we they do in a port. We they look at all of these documents here, the authenticity of them documents here for see if particular signatories and they, because then they send the signatories then to we. Let we see if now the right people then sign the document. If now then sign the document and make sure that then people don't meet all them payments we then supposed for don't do. Then at that time we they match them documents and then we can issue a gate pass, gate and an exit note. That exit note will generate an up now with office, because we not they give hand to hand for save a lot of other things. When you put a document as somebody and there is a tendency it can do other things. So now everything what we do, we put under the system, we send under the gate. When you go under the gate, that's how your consignment go don't pack the weight. Then they can look at them from the system and see say this person done with everything what they do. Then they can print 2 copies of the exit note. 1 copy they go with the driver, where they go with the consignment out. Because that driver they suppose for car inside, where the car with the empty container, you the older copy they of that gate, that exit note for car inside. For that we reduce some of the other issues then where they happen within the port. Then we they retain one for reference sake. So where you go, then don't finish with the container, where you come to Savage Square gate, you give that copy will give the second copy will give na gate where you exit. So when you come back for enter, you show that one in a gate and then allow you can inside with the container. So for sure, this is the clearance process. A lot of other things will come as we get along.
That's a very long process. I wonder if not to this they make most time we brothers and sisters they move under, they decide for who do the clearing. in other countries like Guinea and neighboring countries. I don't know if that is the reason. Because for what you explain, it's a huge time. It take possibly a long time for do them process there. If somebody not get patient self, you're not able to do anything there. So anyway, let me ask this question before we come to Mr. Bremer. Let me ask this question. You know, most time people can grumble, say, me goods then they got missing. Since when they walk around the security of not only the workers, but as well the goods them when they come inside. So how I can do issues then the way somebody who can say, this may container, na so thing don't missing there, I don't know how comes missing, but then we actually load them from the country they come out.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. First, the clearance process, you say, look long and tedious that it make people in. I don't want to assure you, this is not just a process. Within a short period, if you keep to waiting, you don't know waiting for the bits or something that they work for you, it not will be too long. Now, before now, we get containers for clear containers, a BT for 5 days. But now I want to assure you, say maximum, if you work right, a day and a half, or it's, I would say 2 days maximum, if you're not able to get your container out of the port. You do whatever you're supposed to do. Now coming to people then say that they tamper with their goods and the rest of it, that's not a thing of the past, my brother.
Okay.
And they tell you the port today, will they compete with other ports in Africa and the world? We go reach a point where I go tell you, say, this we Port Authority will do so today. In 4 years, we don't pass the International Shipping and Port Security Code 3 times. What do they mean? They show you say we port now one of the safe ports in the world. So we get to be proud of this as Sierra Leoneans. You see, pilferage, you go to the port today, cameras everywhere. Before now, we not been the I know they tell you say that kind of thing not been the be in a port. Because me sit there, I don't work in a port for over 3 decades. So I know I can able then at a better position for make comparison before and today. I know they say then see not been the happen, pilferage not been the happen at the portal. But my brother, a day to the lowest right now. I'm not going to say 100% we are human beings. But a day to the lowest right now. Because you would do answer you this can't say camera everywhere for see what you do.
Those cameras are not tampered with?
They are not tampered with because they are being monitored. Effective monitoring.
All right. Now we can now to John Brymer. John Brymer, you are the head of scanning, the ITC services. Now tell me a little bit about your own side, because most of the thing where Mango they say they refer them back to you. You say you go can rub mouth by your own services as viewers in the watch. Let them get a trust in your own job.
All right, thank you very much, and good morning again. Adeya So, on behalf of the CEO and management team of Integrated Trade Services. Okay. We are a private company. We come into operation since 2020, and we contracted by government. The reason why we get our contract are for able for support the customs operations, specifically in the area of mobilization of revenue. So that they feed into the new direction for we country Sierra Leone. And ITS, in short, we get 3 phases of we operation. The very first phase, the one where they deal with classification and valuation of goods then, where people they bring into we country. We also get the export aspect, where they deal with waiting they come out and we country and go to other countries. And then the third and final part, where actually na the crucial side of we operation na scanning. And that make more so media so as a scanning manager. So that operation day, it right at the heart of the port, the SLPHA. And one key reason why we port na an international port, na because SLPHA able for guarantee the provision of a scanning facility And that's actually not to just for we as a country, an international requirement where they into waiting then called the International Ships and Port Facilities Security Code. In short, then call it the ISPS code. So that code there, it actually mandate the SLPHA for able for guarantee security for the ships them where they come, and the goods them where they carry it, the cargoes, the containerized goods them where they carry it, and also not to wait nobody come, waiting they left with country, where they go now other country, for make sure say all of them transactions and they none of the will go be of security threat to the citizens, the very people. So we now also we therefore able for guarantee that service there. So where we did at the port, we operation primarily focus on that aspect there, for able for number one, detect any security threat by way of the transaction of all containerized goods them. If you know the inside container, no need for like Canada scanning facility. There are other measures with the SLPHA get for handle then kind of goods them. They like the bulk goods them, for example. But anything we done the inside container and it's sealed, now a mandatory requirement where we for able for scan them. And so for through scanning determine whether anything they inside it where they pose harm. For example, cases where you go get ammunitions, radioactive materials, as the case may be, and all that kind of thing in there.
All right.
And
go ahead.
And also, not so much say that side no more. We also get for look at cases. This is where revenue mobilization they come into play. Cases where you get under declarations. So the one that we actually they try for bring goods them into Sierra Leone, the expectation are that when you carry them, if you're able to say, now this a bring come, now this quantity now a bring can speak directly to waiting you get inside your container. Time then day where some businesses them now they able to do that. So if you not do that, when you reach to we on side, we're able for expose that side. We're able for say, it be saying that this is bring camel. But when we look with way of scanning, we see it different. And therefore, whatever are the tax or duties where you try for balance, for letting up pay, we go make sure say we expose that, and then customs go handle that, and we go able for recover that revenue. So in short, now that kind way the scanning, there's more to it, but not that kind of way the scanning they operate.
All right, John, you don't say your main activity now for detect. Coming to detecting, if peradventure you then materials then or items then where they can, you cannot know waiting they pan each container, that is one. And if you know in the process of scanning, if you see anything contrary, you can able raise alarm.
Thank you again. And to your very first question, so what can normally happen is all who that they do business for bring goods them to Sierra Leone, like my brother rightly say, then get this bill of lading within the give you from the shipping line. So the shipping line, they actually give you that document there for sure saying that this then received from you for put another ship or the vessel. So you expectation when you get that document there from we on side, the first phase of we operation, when at the classification and valuation, there's a whole unit where they deal with that. We expectation you forgo the first, you go declare. Now you they go declare. Nobody know they put gun at your head or anything on that or any coercion. Go there and carry you bill of lading and declare by way of making an application. So you lodge them into we system. The one that way they do, we get experts them very specialized for look at them and do all waiting and go do, Then at the end, then they translate that use bill of lading, change them into what we call the CVC, as you mentioned, and the certificate now will they give you. After they don't determine, say you don't do all the right things, you don't make all the payments where you need for pay to ITS, that certificate then they give you. Once they give you that certificate they capture, it's almost a reflection of the bill of lading where you get. So waiting, you don't see anything that you ship. So when you come down scanning, you for bring that document there with you. There is no way we go scan a container where that document is not there. So that document there where you can go the physical copy in we own setup, now the scanning operation, with a capture them and translate them, change them back into the scanning manifest. So it is electronically now, and then the container at that time would expect, say you don't do all other transactions right, the container also for done day simultaneously. So once the container enter the scanning tunnel, the document we would don't create as the scanning manifest for able for I am synchronized with the container in reference number, because it did it. The container within the tunnel will be the same as within the document we don't create. So once that is cleared, we scan.
All right.
As we scan, now we use the X-rays with a high energy radiation for translate that box of container and everything within inside into a photographic image.
That's not the side where I want for come and ask the question, because when you talk about scanning for the area of the medical side, when you scan, there is a display screen where they show everything where they inside. For the container now, somebody go say, but the container too big. How the people are used for scan the container? There are a whole lot of goods inside that container there. Some goods could be easily passed through even the scanner, not they pick them up. So how can you do that one day? Because let's say if I count me 40 feet container now, I get goods them inside it. Some goods are tiny, we know they even able to detect. When they pull in goods steady one at a time for scan them, or the whole of the container, or just a pin that they already told them to scan. So
this is not the reason why I make sessions like this very, very important. Because for me, able for provide the platform so that they do their job, then they will be able to actually talk to with people that make them understand the way how the scanning day. Yes, the scanning way you talk about, it also in medical facilities, and even at the airport, you get different tools them within they use. We for able for tell waiting day, even with motorman, then go scan you. I mean, you do X-rays and stuff like that. So with the container, it's not different. Waiting only different that the technology way then they apply for able for determine waiting the inside the container. So we own operations where we they do na the port is not different. Many other ports, even as close as Tema Port, we get what they call the gantry scanner. The gantry scanner, what actually it do is that you get the motor car where they drive inside, we get this container, we toot, whether not 20 feet or 40 feet, they drive straight into the tunnel, the motor car go to. So the vehicle is stationary. All right. So now, the ones that don't confirm say this container where they on top of this truck are the same as the one where they at the document where they don't upload, then they initiate scanning. Initiate scanning, and then you get the boom where they run across the face of that container there. And by so doing, automatically everything about that, not just the container, the vehicle itself, from the head of the vehicle to the tail, all in a generator, translate them into a photographic image. And that image, they will get specific screen them, now we facilitate. So you get different units them within. You have specialized and trained people where they don't work. You get with that in your work now for just capture that image there. You get with that in your own work, where once they don't capture that image they go na in your own machine, and in business now from now take in time and look into all the elements of that image there. You get a vast array of tools with the at in disposal for user for determine bits by bits within this container actually contain. So what it explains, so maybe you're not able to see how much, but if you go to the ground itself, you go see how beautiful it is done. But that's not the aspect. And they're able to do that and determine which you bring up. But the principle where we they operate with now is based on density.
Right.
Density means say how heavy. The heavier the object, the more clearer the image outlook.
There are a whole lot of concerns so far being raised in the area of these activities they do na the ports. Area of people boycotting scanning, area of people not even they abide to waiting the port one for level they do. Now don't get a situation outside policy the boycotts the scanning, you know, go through scanning and the container pass free.
You know, my brother be mentioned rightly so. Outside the ports don't come out, to outside we don't fend we self now. A lot of changes don't take place. Before we time, this service where we they provide so we are the third service providers. Scanning done day into operation from 2005. And then you been get waiting and call Intertech when I've been wait people them and they work for a certain period. When then done, you also get ALIC, we be done day, then work for almost 8 years, and before now we come and take over. We done day now for almost 5, going to the 6th year. Now, as I say, the clearance process is well defined. In fact, we don't review them recently for just try to make sure that we tighten every element where people they want for beat the system. Naturally, in the quest for survival, you know, say motorman can do anything, and of course now we country Sierra Leone. But what we self they try to do through the supervision where the SLPHA they provide in terms of the space for let we able to meet across all stakeholders, all relevant operators within the clearance process. Would they review within we need for do for tighten then loops and day. But in terms of we operation, we don't make sure say everybody where they come apply through we classification and evaluation unit. For it's mandatory that you go down and scan your container, and that's what they work on strictly.
All right. Before me, colleague Okamisai, Elizabeth, in the process of scanning, then I can find out say there is something unusual, either ammunition, drugs, illegal drugs to say. What's on do in that moment there?
All right. So that's a very, very important question you asked. So it's also good for people that know when we say scanning, not to just like the machine don't run across the container, because it's not the mindset where a lot of we people then get. So once the machine run across that container, they scanning done. No, scanning they in 2 phases. Now the beginning of scanning that one day, for there we capture the image, analyze them, you know, like doctor check inside. Well, you don't check inside, and then you determine say now this now I see. So the next phase, they go now to the final phase. We actually in the phase where, based on what we don't do with the image, if we see say this person, they don't under declare. It been tell we say it come with 1,000 gallons of paint. We don't see 4,000. That case there now under declaration. So with the marker, mark means that container they be referred to customs. Don't we not forget say customs very important in all of what we do. They're not the outside. Even at the scanning facility, you get customs presence there. So we they refer then case then for physical examination. Physical examination means then the opener. Then therefore go opener. and customs go able now look, oh, so this person in CVC, it's saying that this, now you can go to ITS. Now look what's in the container they show me. And then they look them back, and then they go make sure, say they charge them kind of transactions. They sometimes even twice, and there's a penalty. When you cancel the case of ammunition, through years of operation, we don't really get that kind of alarming situation yet. We don't get one or two where you get loose components. So then the find way for balance, you know. For example, you get somebody, they count 1 or 2 pieces too, and they scatter. So when you scatter, you know, they actually be captured as a piece too. You go see as pieces of stuff. And then kind of they all know they bypass the physical examination. The key thing is once we scan with a mark, and once we mark, you're referred for physical examination, where they go, they open the container. So we get a whole area where customs go, the SLPHA, also very, very significant.
How long that process? How long for scan?
For the scanner run across the container surface now about 1 minute.
All right, John, looking at this, all way you don't explain. When I don't ever get a situation wherein a container come waiting there inside, a kind of contraband to the nation, and somebody abandon them. I don't get any situations like that.
I now know about somebody abandoning a container. I know say we don't get cases where you get a lot of under declarations. Okay? We don't deal with that, and we don't always follow the laid out procedure, which means go for physical examination where all the relevant stakeholders, the security personnel, them way required for DD through the supervision of SLPHA, they deal with them. So a lot of them cases and they don't happen, but they not escape as the case may be, where somebody go abandon and no presence to it.
All right, Mango, I'll come to you. Now, we don't talk about a lot of shipments here, the processes. In the event of demurrage, how are the charges? What are the charges? How are they start? From which ground or which day demurrage starts?
Okay. When you talk about demurrage really get to do with the shipping company.
Okay.
The shipping company, and then they charge demurrage. Now the port, before we hand over our responsibility to the cargo operators, we dey look for rent. Like I've been saying earlier on in me intro, what I've been explaining the process is, you get 7 days free period where you consignment come. 7 days from the date when then they discharge the consignment, the container in particular, for taken at the stacking area. After that 7 days day, the operators then they begin charge 1 day for 1 day. Then after another 7 days, that charge the double. So specifically, if you talk about demurrage charges, they come off from the shipping lines. Them containers and other things here, now people and get now rents and they rent them. They're all day on the business. If like you don't engage this container for say 5 days, then the container don't take more than 5 days, then you begin generating and begin charge for demurrage. So now so then they happen, but not from the shipping line, not from we as SLPHA directly.
All right, now we don't get a lot of public concern. That's now the area why we've been reached out to the harbor. But make una really come and explain certain things then they claim the harbor with. Then with regards this kush where a prevalence now in nation. And ports and harbor now one of the area who side goods in the Canada this country. Waiting at some of them claims there, and how we go able as a security, how you go able to tell the nation where they watch you or we get for watch this broadcast that this kush within the talk and not get any entrance to on our port.
Thank you very much. Honestly, if we not be raise this question, me being for come for make some of them clarifications here. Like I say, we port under the International Shipping and Port Security Code, We get auditors there, they come, one of the American Coast Guard, so they come for visit, they come for conduct these audits to the port. Like I say, in 4 years, we don't pass 3 times. And we don't only pass, we pass with flying colors. 2024, na 98% Sierra Leone port pass with. So anything we get for do with security for be we concerned. We are Sierra Leoneans, and we for equally concerned for save the lives of Sierra Leoneans. This issue of Kush, a very unfortunate situation don't befall we nation. Anybody will take this Kush, make any kind of thing, then you are not a true Sierra Leonean. Everybody for be concerned, because now with future generations, now and then they kill, and then they go so. Now, going to your question, we as a port, like I say, we day one at the clearance process now on security issues. But one thing where I go, before I explain further, one thing I want to let people know. Some of them things here when they take the Kush of itself, no, they come so naya. Now the materials them, the things here when they make combination of them, now they can make where we can also now to we own people naya, then can turn into waiting in the called Kush. Some of them things and they when they can with naya so in other countries abroad, then they sell them legally. Like something what we call acetinol. You understand? Then they sell them. Like something what they call marshmallow leaves. The marshmallow leaves, now the things and now they get combination of other liquids so they go put together before they make an Kush. We young people in Naya, we brothers them, we picking them, we brothers in Naya, then get their own way when they do all of them things and the way they make the thing become so dangerous, so harmful. But for we in a port, on several occasions, we don't intercept them things a day. When we intercept marshmallow leaves, we intercept acetinol and some of them things and when they take for combination for make this Kush. We have responsibility. We collaborate with all the other security agencies. When they do examination of container, not only ports today, all parties they. Customs the day because if then they do their responsibility for conduct the examination. We as SLPHA will get representatives and they will get monitors and they will get port security with the we'll get police, the national police, then save the day. We'll get representatives from ONS, then they did it. We'll get people from pharmacy board, we'll get from standard bureau, as the case may be. All of them want and they witness this examination. When then situation in the car will make them discoveries and they of their items and they will believe saying that then the components and that when they put together for manufacture this Kush, all we do, like I said, we work in collaboration, we they hand over to the police. We they in charge of national security. I don't think say SLPHA go perform over the police, and I don't think say that's correct. But from time immemorial, from all this time, that's how we operate, and the operations they go smoothly. If like now late evening we make the discovery, we they make sure say then stack them container then they aside, separately from the other containers. We get locks. We all the lock we all with padlock for wait till do clean. When do clean, all the parties will come, then we hand over to them. So this.
So before this public scandal will come about the port, is it as a result of them marshmallow or acetone we kind of very high or huge quantity make people then with the media begin talk say na cocaine Kush can at the port as a result of that?
Well, we like I say 3, 4, 5 occasions we don't intercept them. Acetinol and marshmallow leaves. We don't intercept them. Well, people then go say, but we have responsibility now for make sure say we intercept them. And I think say we do them effectively when it happen on several occasions. We Director General very, very insistent on that. I remember vividly there was a time we first begin discover the things here. The container came a land seal. 2-3 days we did at the port, we didn't this process. One other time the container open. Other parties come, begin put pressure, say, okay, because of this, let them just seal this container for go. We boss, with Director General, current Director General, insist. He said, look, gentlemen, this container will not be sealed for let go. This container been land sealed. Now it open. Something must happen. Let we check this container. Then are the very first discovery we'll make under this new management. And believe me, after the first, second, third row, we'll see some discovery of them things here, marshmallow leaves and then other liquids here we in the retaining gold. We get to remove them. We remove them, we put the container aside until the security sector, the security agencies then come. When a national security, we hand over to them. And I think that we be known to do as a port, and that we will continue for do.
Before me colleague can say, when I don't ever get any powers from above, who say somebody say, when I left that container, let it go?
No, that I want to say very clearly, no. We, young part, they make sure so we take them in and they aside. Once we don't suspect say something, we don't see say something, they suspected containers, we set them aside. We do 100% verification because, like I say, customs, and then they do the examination. We they verify for security reasons because as a port. And I'm making me when the American Coast Guard and they come for conduct audits, and they know they audit any other party but port, because now we they in charge of the general security of the port. So once we don't intercept them things and they don't put it aside, when police come, we hand over to police.
We see of recent time a lot of fingers being pointed at the port of a missing container now the ports. Take me through, where is this? Is it true that there's a container that got missing now the ports?
Thank you again. This is a very good opportunity for us as workers of the Ceylon Port and Harbors Authority. A lot of things don't happen. So many allegations, so much allegations. You know, the allegations are not too much that we will get the kind of opportunity, and I think with management, we self now, we take the information now to the public. We go to the public now. How we started, so we continue with them because we need for the make clarification on some of them things here. Very recently, there was a publication on Facebook about 16 containers exiting the port illegally. Yes. I'm sure when I send a media people on a must don't get information on all of them things here. So it's like when we see this thing, it take we back as a port. 16 containers exiting the port illegally, meaning we get to do something internally. All right, based on this information, because for us, it's been difficult for we because they not give details. Because we can get details of the container number, the size of the container, and the rest of it. But there were no details. But that notwithstanding, we know relent. We Director General, Mr. Yakuba Askia Bio. The next day, when we go to work, is someone an emergency. We not get sufficient information, but this thing out, the fact that this thing out, we need for do something. Let we check we save. Let get a retrospect of we save. Let we look at we save. That same day in the evening, Nine Customs raised an alarm. All right, Mr. Bio set up a committee, an investigating committee. Una go surprise for no and the public for no. Mr. Bio was also the head of that committee. And not sit down in office say, let we just look this thing and let the people then go and do the work. Now he have been the head of that committee. Myself sit down and also now be one of the members of that committee. Right away, we take a move. The investigation starts. When we investigation start, we get for able to understand, say, now only 3 containers indeed exit the port illegally.
How that's possible? How that's possible? 3 containers exit in the port
illegally. Good. Now, like I say earlier, I don't go the clearance process, the flow. There is a situation when we look at the investigation, also documents. We are documents. They present documents. If like document or they then take this container, then container go, it's not possible. But then present documents. Then documents I will later get to prove, say, from the investigation, say, now recycled document. We committee moved to Freetown Terminal. We ask them, how una responsible for load containers, everything, how una process this container, take this container they left. Freetown Terminal tell we waiting at the reason we then get that from customs where they release before they start work, then get a release, then get waiting called authorization from customs. You understand? So now on that they work. Then show we book where them put release and other things in from customs scam. You understand? So, right, when we go into this investigation, we see, then people are them make all the other payments. Because we even go to Mr. Brahma's office, when at the ITS office, for see if this container scan. Indeed, records then they where they carry them container go for scan. But what happen? Scanning flag them. Because after we then scan the document them and waiting the C, get something they call C number, when a unique number. You know, they use that number there for any two different consignments. Once you don't use one particular C number for one consignment, now the only consignment that way it will show now the system. So for Mr. Brahma side, then flag that in they say there is a mismatch of waiting in at the document and waiting then they see. So then refer the document back to customs. How this thing happen, how will not happen?
So,
only God knows.
So as we speak, but, unable to detect.
No, at the camp. What thing can happen? The investigation also proved that people them from customs, because customs also acted swiftly. Once for commend them for that. Then CSFA will prove say in fact the advice we say the C number, the particular C number who they use for that consignments in the now C number who they don't use. And when check the document the system, it gets to do with vehicles instead of containers. So that na the issue being there. But for we as a port, we concern is how this thing happen. We want to know how this thing happen, and we get to stop some of them things here. Because when did it happen? Now we directly then they fall on Sierra Leone Ports and Harbors Authority. Fine, like I say, on easy lies the head that we has come. We're not afraid with responsibility, but we put measures in place going forward for let we stop some of them things here. Where we also ask the public for collaborate with we. We're ready for collaborate. So like I say, let I come back to this same issue. Customs suspend some of the staffs. We then believe say get hands into this. What we self do as support, we look at the clearing agencies when they implicate into this thing, we get stamps and other things them. We self don't ban. We don't ban them from entering the port and not for do no business na the port going forward. So on this issue of container where you talk, it starts first from Facebook, about 16 containers where we not been get details of. But we investigation after we set up a committee, the investigation able prove say now only 3 containers exit illegally, where we don't put them measure, we don't get hold of them. I understand say because the police have been don't come inside and they don't pay duty with penalties, but that not stop. So the action continue. Some staff send they on suspension presently as I talk so, and we self don't ban the agencies.
So yes, suspending staff. Now one, the container there are then 3 containers there, so we exit that port illegally. Now the outside to public. Let's say if these containers allegedly bring some stuff that way illegal, we not fine for the country. How are we able to track that one in the way then the outside the public already, then the outside the port?
Well, that's not a good thing. It's like the information come, we catch them immediately after the exit, so we hand them over to the police. So they do the unstuffing, then check them and see say they not contain any harmful, nothing other of security concerns, but already they don't commit a crime. The fact that they left the port outside illegally, they don't go through the process, then make payments to other things here, now only customs duty they evade. And that is serious. When you evade customs duty, meaning you deprive government of the much needed revenue.
All right, before we take a commercial break, John, Mark, come to you.
Right.
We don't hear about stolen vehicles. You with the scan, head of scanning. How do you detect those stolen vehicles? And if they are, what will they do with them vehicles then? Will they return them back, or what's in the process? What Sierra Leone is doing?
Okay, so thank you again. And as I've been saying earlier, we focus actually only on all containerized goods then. Okay. So even with that, you get 2 categories. You get merchandise, where they deal with huge stock of goods then where people they carry it for the market, for example, rice, flour, and the like. And you also get personal effects. Personal effects, by the name itself, you'd expect now waiting belong to somebody, you know. So, but with the case of vehicles, mostly you see that in personal effects, and where you go get the maximum is 4 vehicles mostly in a 40 feet containers. The area of stolen vehicles, I'm not really aware of that, because we own case, we know they deal with them physically. What they do now, the image would they play with. So the image will tell we now 2 vehicles inside this container, now 3 vehicles inside this container. And also, as I said, the emphasis for we now based on your documentation. Now you bring your document. If you can, you say, I get 4 mutka inside this container. Then when we scan, now 2 mutka we see there. The next thing where we do now for inform customs. Now this person will say, but now this the image GUI. And as I say again, we work in tandem with customs. Even now the facility, a good let people understand how we operate. You know, we as the private company, we are the first interface when it comes to dealing with the image and its analysis. And we are the first people there. So we say check station. And once we check analysis, using all the tools that we get at our disposal, the next thing we do, we make predetermination, submit straight now to customs when at the recheck point. So then basically they review with decision and see themselves also equally now train people them. We're able to look the same image where we look and make their own determination. Either accept, say, oh, okay, I think ITS they make good sense of this image. We see the same thing. So, or ITS missed something there, we don't see something different. So it can go either way. And at the same procedure we follow, even when it comes to the issue of the declarations, whether they can make now we head office, the classification and evaluation. That certificate, the way they give them, they go back to customs. Customs then are a very fine position for look at that certificate there. Look what in ITS don't determine based on the declaration for duties payment. And then the user now blend them with the scan report and say, we not agree with this, with the uplift them. So that person will get for pay more. So that kind operational mode now we get. Yeah. I just want to add a little bit to what my landlord they talk about, you know. Irrespective of the fact, say, we did scanning, have government, mobilize government revenue, we also equally concerned when it comes to the information where they go out to the public, you know. And most times, you know, it's characterized in the form of misinformation. And when bad thing come out there, elect now the head of the port, they affect, we say they affect we, because we did it. Like any other operator, you know, there's, as I said earlier, we don't review the entire process. We don't try now for streamline, and there is something that is going to come out shortly. Waiting that get for do for let we people them across, whether you in Sierra Leone or outside of Sierra Leone, know exactly what you supposed for do once you decide where they happen. Along them phase, then you get the pre-clearance process phase, you get the documentation process phase, and the post-clearance process phase. Now the 3 phases then the way we don't capture now, we're going to make them easier and much better. You don't need for bypass nothing. But the issue here is, we get for be honest, as always hell bent on how for able for bypass. And in doing so, now for just enhance their own survival as against waiting go better with country, you know. So then one and then we didn't try for weed out nable, it will get to a point where it will be termination and give opportunity to others. Well, many Sierra Leoneans we want for work. So if they give you a chance, you come, you not do the right thing, let somebody else come and try. And slowly, I'm very positive. I want for believe say as a country we will get there. You know, might not be right away, but we need for able to see and speak more to the right measures where we put in place rather than the wrong measures where don't happen, you know. So and also lastly, we for able to celebrate that in my own experience, having worked there for 5.5 years, that we actually get a team of people where they walk down the port, where they able for even dictate some of them bad practices here. Not to a case of it come and they run out of the port and come out. You know. Lastly, before we get the break, I want to let people understand also that scanning, as I said earlier, is not just about the machine itself. We're also very much reliant on information, okay, for make we more efficient. You know, tip off. For example, you said you can hear information about a specific container where you don't know for long. Not keep on to yourself. Share that information. Say, you know what? I don't hear saying this container they come out na Cuba. You get the reference number. When you provide that reference number, every container gets in specific reference.
Any hotline for that, or how the public go meet una for give that kind of information?
Well, it's something where we actually work on now, so that we go make them available. But you know, we all accessible. Me, for instance, always did down the port. We head office in number 6 Walpole Street. But these are the ways where other countries then they do, where then the activities then become more efficient.
All right. So we want for Leona stay with we. When we come, we want for a quick commercial break. When we come, we'll look at messages, responses, and then we'll wrap up the program. We'll go for a quick commercial break. Viewers, we will come back and continue the discussion.
Orange Maxit app, they give you more sweet special features we designed for make you life simple. No miss events. Buy tickets for concerts, sports match, or any show directly from the app. Enter the marketplace, shop latest products them, check special offer them, and enjoy exclusive deals. If you make mistake on transaction, no worry. The app gets instant reversal feature where they give you control over your money. All the special features, yeah, and more they waits for you inside the app. Download Maxit now and enjoy the full experience.
Orange.
As government and stakeholder them, they continue to implement the Productive Social Safety Net and Youth Employment Program, PSSNYE, where World Bank be don't give Salon government $42 million for. National Commission for Social Action, NACSA, they use part of this amount for transfer money to us and family them, where poor pass smack. Now, area them will not receive nothing yet through the Social Safety Net Program. For sake of this, government will extend this facility to new hostel where poor the money. Same way so, NACSA, they use part of this money for give money to Salon people, for start their own business, train and mentor people them, and connect them for agricultural program them where the government and non-governmental organization body them they operate. NACSA they also give this money to over 7,000 youths them to provide them with short-term work opportunity them upline through the Sustainable Cash for Work program.
As all this dey be, Freetown City Council go use spend this money for about over 6,000 youth them for clean the city and do other public work them na Freetown.
The National Youth Commission NACOM go use some of this money for support new and all youth group them for open their own business them na Freetown. Inside they go able to get access to money, training and counseling, but how for improve their own business them.
And then go implement this program na Bo, Makeni, Kenema, Potloko and Freetown.
For complaints, comments and inquiries, call Anti-Corruption Commission on 077-985-985 or 077-986-986 or toll-free line on Africell, QCell and Orange 8515. This message will come out from the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Welcome back. Inside the studio today we get Mango Tarawali, we now the head of the
special duties.
in charge of the security, now the
Special duties.
The ports, and we also get John Brahma, we now the head of ITS. I pose a question about a stolen vehicle. I go once let Mango Tarawali talk a little bit about that, and we go come and read with text message. So Tarawali, tell me a little bit about the stolen vehicles as you now head of the
okay. Me now head special duties. On the issue of stolen vehicles, yes, as a port, you know, we do work, we get information from Interpol. Once Interpol give you information about vehicles, stolen vehicles, then they give you the specification, then they give you the vessel and everything weighed out, then they expect that, you know, Interpol is international, worldwide. So once we get that information, you know, as a port for save the port, we can go into action. We begin monitor right from the time we get the information, or they begin monitor until the time where the vessel they come, then discharge the vehicle. What will they do? Will they apprehend them vehicle, then they reported vehicles, will they apprehend them and hand them over to the police? Like I say, you know, will they hand them over to the police? Recently, there was an issue about 6 vehicles also being in a social media. I wouldn't say port release, just release like that. Or not just release like that. Port get a request from Ceylon police for hand over them vehicles and they to port. There is a written request to port. And I think say if we don't get down there as a port, you know, we comply by waiting. So not to say now we self as a port just come out together. We'll get documents and for substantiate that. There is a written report requesting that we hand over the vehicles. And you talk about the police, the national police. You see, so this I get for say on this issue of stolen vehicles. Once we work with Interpol, once we get that information, say so vessel already come, so vehicles and they do in stolen vehicles, as in discharge, we monitor, begin monitor right from there, as in discharge, we apprehend them and hand them over to the police.
All right. So any good thing there is an end. We go read with text messages then now. We comments then and we guests then go also come and give them response to and wise with the try for wrap up. I go start with WhatsApp messages. Congratulations SLPA. We now see that you guys have started engaging the media. If only this is what you guys have been doing, all this disinformation on Facebook would not have been rampant. Everybody in the country is about to believe that drug comes in from the port. But from what I have heard Mr. Brimer talking, I feel relieved, and I will start disseminating this link to them so that they can get exactly what they need to. Oh my God, Mr. Mango, I never knew you can explain better. I always see you at the port. Mr. Man, you na good explaining man. I'm reading exactly as it is. You na good explaining man. But again, explain to the public what is your perception about powers that be. If the stolen vehicles go to the police, have you ever scanned it back, Mr. Brimer, to the country where it came? If not, why not? This come up from Idrissa, we say na Mountain Court. Mary from Bo say, indeed, the port has been blamed with many ridiculed. They have ridiculed them, especially the head, Mr. Bill. But he has never come out to answer anybody. And that gives me the courage that he is a man of little words. If you have started engaging the media, I applaud you again. Congratulations to Unity Broadcasting. Hosting this gentleman gives me another joy that you guys are not on politics, but you are thinking of the nation. This comes up from Mary Wede Nabo. The last one I go read from Ibrahim, Australia. He say, oh, how I wish this is coming every month. You guys need to have a monthly review of your activities so that you can inform and let the public know what is going on. All these perceptions are things that do not work. Mr. ITS, I know you are Mr. Scanner, but please let the public, give the public your better perception about scanning if drugs are in container, and if not, the goods that are contraband, are they to be returned or burnt? If not, tell the public. I go stop there for now as we declare for wrap-up. My colleague Suma.
A lot of messages. The one I will start with, it come up from Itfredo, and Itfredo say, how does the integrated trade service support transparency and reduce delays in the clearance process at Ceylon Port? You can as well use that document to take judges of the messages, please. Yes. So this other person here again from Itfredo say, what are the challenges where SLPHA they face in terms of clearing process, and how one can address or improve this trade facilitation? Another message coming from J. Douglas say the ITS does scanning in 24 hours basis is a question the person asked. Edward Fona say with all this scanning system but still illegal drugs are coming in our country. Explain please. It's Friday again says how is SLPHA leveraging technology to reduce human error and delays in the clearance processes? Another message here says, Lansana Sheriff say, wonderful presentation, keep it up. Eddie Grant says, good morning, everyone. Thank you. It's Fredo again says, how has this digital scanning improved accuracy and accountability in customs clearance? The last two messages I will read for now. This one here says, Amara Barcelona from McKinney says, media engagement is something that is important so that you can clear the air on any doubt. Last message just to come say, how strong and effective is your communication and information department? Please respond. All right, these are the messages so far, gentlemen.
We'll start with you, Brima.
Oh, thank you very much. I want to thank all the followers. We don't be on board with me from where we start, and I think a very good practice. Sierra Leoneans them, both home and abroad, very much keen on waiting to happen at the country. So there are some of the issues where they mention in terms of reducing delays. What we actually do when we start the operation are for able to improve on we turnaround time, particularly when it comes to scanning. So with that, we do a lot of adjustment in terms of the internal processes. So for me, and from Musa Bide to Musa Widonde now, when it comes to homogeneous items, meaning one-line items, for let you able for go to the scan facility and come out quickly. Regarding from the period of scanning and documentation, for take more than 6 minutes. It should not exceed 6 minutes. That should have been done. So that 6 minutes inclusive of the 1 minute of scanning, and the 5 minutes would include inputting and transforming document into scanner document and then analysis. When it comes to the heterogeneous, when are the mixed, now they go then mix up, and this it has to take time definitely, because you get for make sure say you use the analysis to find details, able to come up with something more accurate and reliable. So with that, in between 10 to 15 minutes, it depending on the nature of the mixed items. Sometimes you only get 2 items in one container. Sometimes you get 3. Sometimes you get a host, a variety, especially when it comes to personal effects. And then personal effects, most times you can get them dodgy activities. And so the time lapse in between is between 6 to 10, 15 minutes if we're done with the scan facility. So that's one way where we don't improve them, and we're able to ensure that even as I talk to now, we're able to scan over 250 containers per day. Not for 24 hours. Somebody asks for 24 hours. We're not in at that point where they do 24 hours services, but we don't get the conversation. You want for also operate 24 hours based on the volume of within the camp. Just one go put somebody, is sit down for 4 or 5 hours in there, do nothing. Then you say you keep on there. You want to make sure you employ people. You have not forget that you have to pay them. So if you put 24 hours, somebody for be engaged through in time where they work. So it's something where we consider to that follower. We will definitely get there. And also somebody talk about the issue of illegal drugs. Now, of course, as I say, and I will emphasize on that, through we own period of operation, we don't try very hard. And sometimes, again, the misinformation, they come. Somebody say, oh, then Quechua whole container, how we pass through scanning. I don't think we don't really experience that. We get a huge database system. And I can always tell them, if that is the case, bring me the container reference. Me, when they talk to Una as me people them, I'm very, very trained In fact, I don't think anybody there where they analyze image reach me, not to for brag anyway. But that's where I am with my team. And in fact, what they do every year, we do what we call review training for able for just build up their capacity and make sure we use all the necessary tools that were available. But with the drugs, any area with the case of Kush, when a very sad situation in this country, very, very sad that even we compatriots and we they indulge in their activities and this wire in particular. First of all, with the group, we hear the word Kush. What did they refer to? Na jamba, cannabis. But that Kush is no more the case. It's not the one that we're life-threatening. Now, this is the synthetic, man-made. Now, now a mixture, and they put this, put that in. So in cases where with the sea container we get high volume of acetone, we they flag them up, okay? And we see high cases of marshmallow, boxes of it, we they flag them up. So then the security as well as SLPHA and customs, they work on that. So now we unroll that day. But for say we don't really get one whole container tinap na the tunnel, it's all full of drugs. That has not been the case. Okay? Now somebody also talk about the accuracy in what we do regarding customs. Not only they determine how customs, the operating systems, they work. We just feed into customs when at the Asikuda world. So everything what we do, ranging from the processing of CVCs and also to the scanning result they get, all they go feed into the customs, and it help them a lot, and they do them a great deal of work. We therefore also commend them. It's not easy, particularly with the kind of environment where we don't get for many years. What do they deal with now? Not today business, and it has to take time to clear it out. So the one that we did it now we brothers them, now we sisters them. Yes, they are not perfect, just like all of us, but then they try. So they support them, they push them in terms of what we supposed to do. For particularly the key for government revenue, for able to mobilize them in the right direction.
So somebody also say a fine for loan they engage the public monthly.
Yes. For as I say earlier, we operation at the port, it's solely under the authority of SLPHA. By we self, now they go and just try to engage and begin talk. One day I will landlord them, and then go deal with that.
Right.
So, Mr. Tarawali.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Boema. I think I like that. But even in my earlier presentation, I think I made mention of that. And that make maybe the texters, the people outside, get for say this. It's like we self don't know say we get for the come out, and we don't ready for that now. It's a management decision. We get for the come out to the public now. People don't need for staying for get information. We say they come out and give information to people now. That's how we start, so we go continue with that. I want to assure the public say we will continue with that. This is not a stop again. We are not going backwards anymore. We are going forward. And somebody talk about we challenges all they get in the clearance process. We challenges all they get in the clearance process that Mr. Boema said some people in the camp them feel say they're smart. No matter whose kind arrangement you put for curtail certain things, then believe say them for go start another way for come inside. So because of that, and I make a supporting text we can say waiting we do SLPHA for leverage technology. And I think we are moving towards that now. Mr. Boema talk about the steps so we don't review, the clearing process steps so we don't review. And not only reviewing the steps, we don't try for digitalize most of the areas. Now my explanation just now, I even talk about that and they say even the exit cheats what they generate. Before now, we make the cheat manually, we give them. But because of that, from one area to the other area, you can't imagine you get people we go don't turn them cheat and they to other things. So now we know they give cheat manually. The system is digitalized. When you can we get all the information into the system, we they send the cheat now the main exit gate. When from the main exit gate, then they go do the printout. So it's like we don't try for reduce that physical contact hand to hand. All of them say the brain problem come for it. And also, I'm not going to stop or I'm not going to be thinking without saying this. you know, not to all thing bad about SLPHA no more for the calm. Like I say, we don't come out to the media now, to the public now. We also get to make the public know some of the things that we SLPHA don't do. This current management don't do. This current management, one of the things that we, because of time, and we'll just name one. Recently, PIMOCA, the Port Organization of Africa, don't choose Saloon Ports Authority. They don't nominate Saloon Ports Authority for be the best port in Africa. This is a good thing for we in Sierra Leone. I think some of them things I will get for be proud of them. That's international. And locally, this current management under Mr. Yakubu Babeo, from 20 years ago, there was a big gap about payment of dividend to government. But this government, this management, in 2023 paid $4 million as dividend to government. And in 2024, just last year, paid $7 million to government. All of this, they should say, we are moving on. If we get the support of the public, like I say, we encourage the public. SLPHA will open to collaboration. We want to collaborate with anybody. Like Mr. Abraham myself, they say just now, if anybody gets information, we believe say this thing is dangerous for this week country, let we continue put to country before. Una come, we are open up. We get to customer care. We they just outside the port there. The numbers we will send out to people for see. Let we get the information and see how we they react. We really ready for react in a point where we get to stop some of them things here. If we not stop them things here, this is not the only country where we get. If you love your country, you always want there's something good they come to your country. But again, one thing we I want to encourage the public about. You see the negative publicity, personal attacks, it not help we at all in any way. Now we as Sierra Leoneans they suffer. Look, for instance, then they talk about certain things where you get negative publicity in your country, where you go with your Sierra Leonean passport. Once they see them, now different area, then they look at you. Who's kind of embarrassment to pass that? Then go to search you load, then go turn your luggages and the rest of it because of the negative publicity. Then they why will not go stop them? Some of the good things that they are for, we let we do them. If we begin to pull ourselves down, they say something about somebody. If you get issues with somebody, personal issues with somebody, you go put and make some kind of allegation against her. All of that not the help we as a country.
All right, it is time down the beat we as we producer just a hit way back to back. It has been a great opportunity. Sierra Leoneans, thank you very much. We tell plenty thank you to the studio guests as we get Idris Mango Tarawali in at the head of special duty now the Sierra Leone Port and Harbour Authority, and we also get been getting at the studio John Brahma when in at the scanning manager ITS. We tell una plenty thank you. Una we send una text messages, una direct Facebook chat. It has been a great pleasure. My name now Elizabeth Kefwe.
And with this one for say thank you to the cameraman operator. We operate the camera for me on the CV, Alfred Bewa, assistant camera operator. We now Williams Frederick. We self be the join Alfred for operate the camera there. But thank you to Alpha Joba, the man will help with the sound technology side for Giri Sound. One for say thank you. The head of technical team na the studio we na David Harding, and we producer for this edition na Sulaiman Jalo. So when this program will come to you tomorrow na the second edition for the month of November and for this week. We will not be a presenter. Your name na Yusuf Moses, for which you're spending a wonderful Monday. Good morning.
Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we country.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we country.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
Independent Media House, we dey here for unify, sensitize and inform Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey here so for talk, but waiting they happen. Political discussion, you for know about Salon politics. Religious messages, entertainment, self no go left. We know no go left nothing piano.